guys, it's Teresa. This is my very first vlog, and I'm going to start it off with my son Tristan. Tristan was born November 11th, 2006. He is 6 years old, and he has autism. We found out by my mother-in-law, basically. Um, she had a lot of concerns about him because he started to change at 15 months old. He was a typical developing child from birth to 15 months old. We didn't notice right away because, well, it's really hard. And if you know nothing about autism, you don't even know what to look for. I mean, most pediatricians, they don't tell you right away, like, oh, hey, keep your eyes out. Your son or daughter could have this or that. You don't look for that. You just think that if you have a baby, they're going to be healthy and you're going to just, be the perfect family and that they're going to grow up and have a life and you contribute to that. You raise them and, that's all they basically, they can just go along with that. And so my mother-in-law started having concerns between 15 months and 18 months. And we were like, okay, yeah, whatever, we were very in denial about it until we looked on YouTube. And we saw lots of videos of kids that had autism. And we were, every child with autism is different, but the symptoms or the characteristics are really close, and so you can see a pattern. And every video we saw Tristan, doing the flapping or the meltdowns or the crying or the not speaking or the stacking, those types of things. So it was very, we were becoming aware. At his 2-year appointment, we went to the pediatrician, and we asked for the IU, the early interventions phone number, and they basically told me that he's fine, he's a boy, it's a phase, he'll grow out of it, those types of things. And I was just like, you know what, I'm not having it. Give me this number now. I'm leaving your office. And basically that threat worked, and then we got early intervention after he was 2, January of 2000 and I think it was 8, yeah, or no, it was, yeah, it was about 2008 or so. And they wanted, they got him an OT and a special instructor, and they would come weekly to my house, and they would basically just play with him and teach him the skills. But we wanted more than that. We wanted a diagnosis, and we told them from the beginning that we were going to look and search for a diagnosis. So we went through lots of tests. We went through hearing tests and seeing tests and all these different types of tests. And the OT that was coming to my house weekly, she gave me the phone number for ARCH, Autistic Resource Community Hub of Lehigh Valley. When they first opened up, they were only open 2 weeks when I got the number from her. And I called it up and I said, I want a diagnosis. And they're like, okay, well, I'll put your name down and we will contact you. In about a week and a half after that, they called me up and they set up an appointment. At this time, I was 4 months pregnant with my daughter, and my head was spinning. We were waiting for so long for a diagnosis, and we were so close to getting it. That day, we actually went in there, and we were relieved because we knew it. We had a feeling it was autism. It just made sense. And I mean, I cried, but it was because I was so happy that I finally got a diagnosis and we weren't crazy. Now, later on, after the diagnosis, we basically, we had to have like a meeting again with the IU. And they were like, why did you get a diagnosis? Are you crazy? Now he's going to have a label. And, I told the lady, I'm like, are you crazy? Label is good because then you can get the services that your child needs. Yes, okay, it is a little embarrassing that they're going to have a label, but if that label can help them, I don't see a problem with labels. It won't hurt them because then they know what they have and that they're not just crazy and that there's nothing wrong, because there is something wrong. And I told them that right away. And later on, we actually went through the IU preschool, and I started getting TSS. TSS is in BSC in my house, which are therapists that come to your house and they basically play with your child and teach them the life skills. And then after that, we started doing the IU preschool, which was good. I was glad that he was able to be in school and they were teaching him things. Um, It was rough because at that time he was nonverbal, so he had to learn how to communicate. And we did the PECs. We did some sign language, but it really wasn't coming along because my son has motor planning troubles in his hands, especially his hands. So that really was a no go. And but we did PECs, and after PECs, he was learning to communicate. Um, Tristan has come a really long way. Um, we've we've had so many therapists in and out of this house, and private therapy, therapy at school, therapy at home, private therapy. And at the age of 4.5, he actually started to talk. But before that, he was just making sounds. And he had a lot of sensory issues, just a lot of problems with those types of things, especially sensory. He's a sensory seeker, which he basically loves any kind of sensory ball, massage, any of that stuff. He loves it. He's come a long way to redirect himself when he gets into sensory overload or overwhelming situations. And now that he's talking, it makes it a lot easier to, his communication is coming a long way. And we're basically at the end of our hub when it comes to the in-home therapy. They've been here since 2009 when I was just about to give birth to my daughter. They started in November 2009. And by this November 2013, we are basically going to be all done with therapy in home, the BSC and TSSs. I'm gonna miss them a lot. They've been here for so long, and even though sometimes it gets frustrating with them coming a lot, because they are here basically 4 days out of the week, and they used to be here like 5 days out of a week, and that's a lot of time because they're here 2 hours, and sometimes I have them back to back. So, power to me. I hear from people. Um, I'm so grateful of everybody that's been in this house and the ones that have left me and left Tristan. Very grateful for you guys, and I'm hoping that you guys can see this. Um, Everybody says that it's the parents that do it, and I don't give myself enough credit because it's people that have the job that are there to help your kids, to teach them how to tie their shoes or to write or to read. They just mean so much to your family. They're not just people that come in my home, they are my family. And it's the caring and the loving people that are here that are helping all of us do what we need to do for Tristan. So as much as it is me and my husband Jesse that started this process, as long as this process has been, I couldn't do it without the people um, that are here, and I just want to thank um, everybody from the beginning. Bobby Sue was my first person. Um, After her was Krista, who made everything basically possible, and then Lily, and then my friend Jackie, who left us before. She was one of the first TSSs, and then we've had so many. And then Tia's been here for about 2.5, almost 3 years now, and Tina, those two my girls. Tina's been here a year and a half, and they're gonna be with me to the end. I told them that they're not allowed to leave. We did lose another BSc. Her name was Lindsay, and she was awesome. And now we have Tara, and it's gonna be me, Tara, Tia, and Tina. Yes, I totally told Krista in the beginning that I did not want any more T's, and she did not listen. But out of all of those T's, I love them with all my heart, and I'm really gonna miss them at the end of this year. So thanks to them and thanks to us, Tristan is in a regular kindergarten classroom with support, talking, reading at a third grade level. And he's doing excellent. And it's thanks to all the support that I've gotten with my parents and with just my family and with my friends who support me and just love me and that love Tristan. Just want to say thank you. You mean the world to me.